There once was a man named Victor Hale. He was one of the richest men in the city, owning skyscrapers, expensive cars, and private jets. But Victor has something missing: compassion. He barked orders at his employees. He insulted waiters at restaurants. He believed money was the only thing that mattered in life. People obeyed him, but no one truly respected him. One morning, as Victor entered his office tower, the security guard smiled and said, "Good morning, Mr. Hale." Victor didn't even look at him. He responded, "Do your job and don't waste my time." When his assistant asked for a day off to see her sick mother, Victor replied coldly, "Your personal life is not my problem. Get back to work." Everyone feared him, but behind closed doors, they whispered, "One day, all that arrogance will catch up to him." And then it did. Victor had invested heavily in a risky project. Overnight, the market crashed. His company went bankrupt. His mansion, his cars, his accounts gone. At first, he thought it was temporary. But soon, reality hit. No one returned his calls. The so-called friends who used to drink champagne at his parties disappeared. Even his employees, once forced to tolerate him, turned away. Within months, Victor found himself wandering the streets with nothing but the clothes on his back. Winter came. He slept under bridges, lined up for soup at shelters. The same people he once mocked homeless, struggling, forgotten were now his only company. Victor felt hunger for the first time. He felt cold, despair, and worst of all, loneliness. One evening, he sat on the sidewalk, shivering, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Hungry, please help." For the first time, Victor whispered to himself, "I would give anything for someone to just care." As the sun began to set, a familiar face walked by. It was Daniel, the security guard from his office building, the same man Victor had always ignored. Daniel stopped. He looked down at the shivering figure and gasped, "Mr. Hale, is that you?" Victor lowered his head in shame. "I don't deserve your help," he muttered. But Daniel smiled gently. Everyone deserves kindness. Without hesitation, Daniel bought him a hot meal, gave him his spare coat, and offered him a place to sleep. In the weeks that followed, Daniel helped Victor get back on his feet. He introduced him to community programs, helped him find small jobs, and reminded him daily, money doesn't make you rich, kindness does. Slowly, Victor began to change. Instead of brushing people off, he listened. Instead of demanding, he offered help. He learned to say thank you and mean it. Months later, Victor had a modest job and a tiny apartment. He no longer had millions, but he had something he had never truly possessed before: friends, respect, and peace in his heart. One evening, as he walked past a homeless man, he stopped, handed over his dinner, and said with a smile, "Kindness is free, and you can't put a price on it." The man nodded, and Victor continued walking, finally understanding that true wealth wasn't measured in dollars, but in compassion. Kindness is the greatest investment you'll ever make.